I eat Caifan every other day. I try to get different things each time, but somehow the dishes I like to have, like cabbage, egg, tofu, potato, turn out to be the same uniform mash of yellow. When I pick them out separately, it looks like solid options, right? But when I see the result, it looks so gross. This is a problem. I need to do something about this. How can I find my way back to enjoying Caifan again? What if there was something that could pick up better options for me? What if I could see how my Caifan looked based on the dishes I picked out without having to order it yet? What if I could just pick out ingredients and have my Caifan visualized for me? Then maybe I won't ever have a bad bit of Caifan again. What if we made a machine to do all of this for us? But before we do that, based on this initial idea, what we have to do, right, is to essentially find a way to automatically generate a visual based on another visual. That would mean taking some sort of input visual, for example, a plate of food emojis, and turning it into an output, such as a real-looking plate of Caifan as a kind of image-to-image mapping. To do this, I use Pix2Pix, a machine learning model designed for image-to-image translation. Pix2Pix is a conditional GAN, and how it works is by a generator producing an image as close as possible to the original image provided, and a discriminator deciding whether the image is a produced or original image. What this means is that when I feed the model with a plate of food emojis, the generator will learn to map textures from the images of the real Caifan so closely until the discriminator finds it hard to distinguish between the original and generated Caifan. The harder it is to differentiate between the images, the better the model. In order to use Pix2Pix to train my own ML models, I'll need some sort of hardware acceleration. If not, it will literally take forever and nothing will be done. What I used was a Paperspace virtual machine with a cloud GPU. All I have to do is pay for storage, which is billed monthly, and then of course my usage, which is billed hourly. So remember to turn it off. Before diving straight away into a proper train, I wanted to first do some tests to see how well Pix2Pix can produce realistic Caifan textures. I did this using a technique called in-painting, where I blanked out white squares in the middle of the image, and the model is supposed to learn how to fill in those blanked out squares from the context of the rest of the image. At first it was like, ew, what's this? But after trying a few rounds with the test, the results actually turned out pretty promising. But before I can begin training the proper model, I need to assemble the full dataset. The good thing about using Pix2Pix is that it doesn't require a super large dataset. Instead of needing tens of thousands of images, Pix2Pix can work even with just hundreds of images. For this model, I only need 100 images to start training. This is a really decent and accessible dataset size, which is a very positive thing as it doesn't hinder people from being able to train their own simple models to make cool things with ML, unlike in regular situations where gathering the dataset is already half the struggle. As image-to-image translation works by training on sets of aligned pairs, apart from gathering images of real Caifan, which I will call image A, I also need to collect image B. Image B refers to the input image that will be trained to look as close as possible to the original image, image A. I was like, I'm lazy, can I just straight up use the plate of food emojis as image B? But the results from the test didn't seem too positive and didn't reflect textures as accurately. This is because the plate of emojis didn't have similar enough visual segmentation as the original image, thus making it difficult to learn how to sensibly map the textures. As the color segmentation of the image could potentially help a lot in learning the textures of different foods through different colors, image B ended up being a vectorized illustration of the original Caifan image to ensure both images can be translated well across each other. This makes for more effective sets of aligned pairs for training. After this, the images then need to be pre-processed before it can be used to train the model. Pix2Pix specifically uses images that are 256 by 256 pixels for training, so I need to run some scripts to make sure that all the images are scaled and cropped to the right size. Next, the images are processed so that image A and image B are combined together side by side. Finally, the dataset is split into a training set and a validation set. The training set, which consists of about 80% of the total dataset, is for training the model. The validation set, which consists of the remaining 20% of the total dataset, is used for testing the results of the model once it has been trained. Now, I can finally hit train. Oh, you thought this was going to be interesting? Sorry, but this is the most boring thing ever. It's like trying to download something and it tells you 397 minutes remaining. Let's just leave it to do its thing. Once the model finishes training, most of the hard part is over. We can run the script to test the results of the train. This is what the validation set is for. I ran a few trains with different parameters. Let's take a look at the results. The output can really vary and improve so much based on training with different parameters. Going back to the original plan, I have to make a Caifan builder where users can click on emojis to fill up a plate of food. But now this plate of food has to be compatible with the kinds of images that the model was trained on. So all I have to do is just change the illustrations where instead of dropping the exact emojis in the plate, it just corresponds to a small vector illustration of each ingredient as it was trained on. Okay, and now that that's done, we can test it out. Oh my god. Some of these food textures look so real, but so weird that it makes me nauseous. Also, I don't really like how the ingredients keep overlapping each other and how the ingredients are like kind of the same every time, so each plate of Caifan looks so similar and gets boring after a while. So I tested out different random seeds for the best random spaced out ingredient placements and made sure it fell in that formation each time as a quick fix. I also added more variation to the ingredients so it can cycle through and produce a random ingredient for each emoji category. Now I can have so much more variety than what I even eat for my Caifan in real life. Now that I've got this, I have to go test it out in real life. Come, let's go buy Caifan. 这个还有豆腐这个 I don't know what to feel about this. I mean, maybe it was exciting to generate a surprise Caifan and then go order it. But then you actually have to eat it. And you realize, as you're faced with this unfamiliar plate of Caifan, that maybe there are worse feelings than feeling uninspired. Why is Caifan making me feel this way? I feel so attacked. I'm stressed. What do you mean I have to learn to try new things? Having to go outside your comfort zone is fake news. Anyway, if you want to try this Caifan builder out for yourself, the site is available here. And since you're all still here, let me tell you about our Feelers Caifan Challenge. To tie this project back to the community, our team at Feelers has designed a challenge where we will donate a meal on your behalf. All you have to do is to go check out our Caifan builder and generate as many plates of Caifan as you want until you find your perfect Caifan. Then, just save your image and go to your usual Caifan stall and get a plate of Caifan as close as possible to your generated image. You can show the Caifan uncle or auntie and ask them to make it for you, or you can refer to the image and pick out the ingredients yourself. Then, take a photo of the Caifan you ordered and upload both the image of the Caifan you generated using the builder and the actual Caifan you bought as a single post on your Instagram. You have to be following us at Feelers and also tag our account in your post. Make sure that your account isn't private so that we can see it. If you'd like an alternative to Instagram, or if you'd like to submit a second entry, we also have a Discord option. Simply join our server and post your entry in the submissions channel, and that will qualify as an entry too. And that's all you have to do. When we receive your post, we will make a donation of 1 meal per entry to Food from the Heart. Food from the Heart is a non-profit organization that works towards combating food insecurity and alleviating hunger by providing reliable, consistent, and sustainable food support to the less fortunate through food distribution programs. The specific program we're supporting is Project Belanja, an initiative which provides those in need with freshly cooked meals that are redeemable at designated hawker stalls within proximity of the activity zones of the beneficiaries. Please do check them out if you're interested in making your own donations too. If you'd like to be updated on the status of the donations and our donation receipts, you can check them all out in our Caifan receipts channel on our Discord. Okay, it's lunchtime now. I'm gonna go buy Caifan.